Well, on my way back to the house, stopped, got me a cold adult beverage here. Figured I'd stop and have a drink. Talk to you a little bit about small solar panels and what you can do with them. You don't need a gigantic array on your roof to survive. Those setups are for thriving lavishly in a grid down situation. I'm talking about bare bones to charge up your emergency communications, maybe a GPS, things like that, maybe a cell phone. I got one that you can hook up to your car and it'll just keep it constantly charged up. It's a very small panel, and that's about what it's made for, is just to maintain a battery. So let's get back to the house, show you what I got, and we'll go over a few things. Well, here's a look at some of the solar panels that I have. I'll take you outside here in a little bit and we'll demonstrate some of the things that some of these can do. Now this one here is a 1.5 watt solar panel. About what you could do with this one, or my recommendations for this one, is to keep a battery maintained. If you have an RV or a boat, or you're riding lawnmower or what have you, whatever the item is, runs off a 12 volt, could be your rototiller or whatever. Stick this out where it gets in the sun, and the other end of this has a pair of these alligator clips. You just clip those onto your battery and it keeps it charged. You can see from the I think you can see that flashing little blue light right there. That means even in here, just under the soft boxes, it's getting enough power to where it's generating some electricity. Okay, this one here, this I've had for many years. It's a really old thing, but this has a switch on it where you could switch it from 12 volt or 6 volt. Well, actually it's 15.2 volt and 6 volt. At 6 volt it generates 2.2 watts. Now it's got a little plug in the bottom where you can put in a 3.5 mono jack, and if you know a little bit about electronics, you can use this for charging your tablets, your cell phones, what have you, off of the 6 volt side. Then I've got this one here. This one's a 7 volt, or excuse me, 7 watt, 12 volt, and it comes with some attachments here, so you can screw in the bottom to angle it to the sun, and it also has some little brackets, so if you wanted to mount this on something, you can do that also. Now this one here is good for, like I said, charging your cell phones, your laptop, or excuse me, not your laptop, your cell phones, your tablets, and things like that, GPS, small items. Just remember this takes in 12 volt, so you have to have your 12 volt adapter for whatever the item is you're charging. Okay, well, let's go outside. We'll hook up a few things, show you it in action here, and I'll also take you around back there and show you my 45 watt solar panel system and the items that go with that. Okay, if you haven't seen the Harbor Freight 45 watt solar panel system before, this is the charge controller that comes with it. It has a cable. Please excuse my mess. I do have a messy ham radio station here. I'm always fiddling with electronics, but anyway, this 45 watt system you can see down here, it's got a 3 volt and a 6 volt plug, and this is two 12 volt plugs, and these go to some lights. There's one there, and then there's one on the other side of my ham radio desk. And what I do with this is I charge up this battery bank you've seen before that I built. I don't know if that's coming in or not. I think that's just bleaching out, but that's at 28 or 12.8 volts, and coming in is 12.6 volts. So anyway, we'll go outside, take a look at the panels that go with this system, and then we'll demonstrate the other panels and the items that go with it. Or yeah, well, what we could do with them. Okay, well, we're out here in the yard, and the first thing I wanted to show you is I've got this small solar panel, the 7-watt, hooked up to my power bank here. You can't see it in the sun, but the light's on there showing that it's charging it up. Now, with that being able to charge this has a, my head's not, oh yeah, my head's in there. Well, you know what, I'm going to sit down so you can see me. Anyway, I got the 7-watt solar panel hooked up into this. Now this has a radio on it, and it has a tire inflator and a power inverter and USB port and stuff. So if you have one of these and that solar panel there, you're good to go, as long as you don't have to use this too much, because it will take quite a while with that small panel to charge it. Okay, then I wanted to show you on my cell phone here. Now that panel well charged this cell phone very good. Let me unplug this so I can bring this up and show you. You want to keep those clip leads from touching each other. Okay, you can see that little blue light on right there, I hope, showing that this is getting power and it's ready to charge. Plug it into there, and it should, there it goes, powering up. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's powering it up, and in a minute it'll be showing you, there you go, showing you that it's charging. So there's quite a bit you could do with these small solar panels. Don't think you have to have a big array or anything to get by with. Another thing you might think about for solar is those little solar lights that you get, that you put out in your yard. Get yourself a dozen of those things, or so, a half dozen, whatever you're comfortable with. Put them outside during the day, let them charge up. Take them inside at night. It's not going to give you a whole lot of light, but it's going to get you enough light to get around, and most of those will stay running for 8 hours or better on a charge, so you might think about that. Well, let's head out back here and I'll show you my 45-watt solar panel. It's the Harbor Freight kit, if you haven't seen that yet. I do believe they discontinued it, but they came out with a new one, which is a 100-watt solar panel kit. The only thing I don't like about it is it does not have the box like I have inside my house that has all those extra goodies on it for plugging in lights and stuff. It's got a smaller charge controller. Anyway, you can go on to Harbor Freight, look at their 100-watt solar panel system, and see what you think. Okay, let's go out back and I'll show you my 45-watt solar panel that keeps that battery bank in the radio room running. Okay, well, this is a 45-watt solar panel. Now you can see that it's mostly in shade right now. I've got well, my property's full of trees. Let me just kind of show you what my property looks like here. So, anyway, hope that didn't get you dizzy. The reason I like these kind of panels is because even if they're in the shade, they generate pretty good. You saw inside where they're still generating 12 volt, and I can't remember what the amperage is on them right now, but the sun will be shining on them here in just a little bit, and they'll be generating it through fullest. A lot of solar panels, once they get a little bit of shade on them, they stop working. These ones, they keep on ticking. So okay, let's go inside and we'll wrap this up. Well, I hope that gave you an idea of some of the things you can do with even a small solar panel. Now, I do recommend you do a couple of things. One, learn a little bit more about DC power, because that's what we're working with here. If you want to run an inverter, make sure you learn the safety procedures with your inverter and stuff. Second, get yourself a multimeter, because a lot of times these leads coming off of things are color coded, but when you get something like this that I call it jerry rigging, sometimes you don't know which one's the positive and negative. So in that case, you would want to touch one of your terminals, set your multimeter over onto continuity, put one of your leads on here, and then touch the inside of your components to find out which one's your hot and which one's your ground. Now on these, always the tip or the center here is your hot. Now on a lot of wiring and stuff, let me zoom in if I could figure out how to do it with this. There we go. Sorry about that, the last minute got cut off somehow. Anyway, this is the new Harbor Freight 100 watt solar panel system. I thought I'd show it to you. Have a good evening and stay prepared.